My name is Sienna Fry, and I'm 30 years old. When my brother graduated, my father bought him a luxury apartment in New York. When I graduated, he handed me an old house in the country and a dead strip of land. He didn't even look up. Take the old place. At least you can't ruin anything important. I didn't beg. I didn't argue. I moved in. 3 years later, my flower fields went viral on Instagram. That's when my mother showed up, not to congratulate me, not to ask if I was okay. She came with a verdict. You have 72 hours to give this place back. Your brother will take over. What she didn't know was that the garden wasn't the only thing I'd been building. 3 days later, my brother rolled in with his pickup, ready to claim it. He didn't even step past the gate before his face went dark. He thought I could give it back. He didn't understand what I was allowed to do anymore. That's when everything started to turn. The difference started 7 years ago. May 2018. Garrett graduated from Columbia Business School with his MBA, 28 years old, sharp suit, sharper expectations. We went to Balthazar in Soho for dinner, 5 of us around the table. The bill came to $680. Garrett ordered Dom Perignon for the toast. My father didn't flinch at the price. Halfway through dessert, my father stood up. Douglas Fry, 62 years old now, but back then he was 55 and still ran his logistics company like a general. He cleared his throat. Garrett, your mother and I want you to focus on your career, so we bought you a place. Garrett's eyebrows went up. My mother, Vivian, 51 at the time, was smiling like she'd been holding this secret for months. Upper East Side, my father continued. 23rd floor, 1,200 square feet. You move in next month. The table went quiet. Then Garrett laughed. Not a surprise laugh. An expected one. Like of course they did. Wait, he said. You bought me an apartment? $847,000, my father said. Plus we're giving you $15,000 for furniture. Get yourself set up properly. Garrett stood. Hugged my father, hugged my mother. They were all crying, happy tears, success tears. I was 18. Sitting at the end of the table, I did the math in my head. $847,000 for the apartment, $15,000 for furniture, $862,000 total. My mother turned to me, touched my hand. Your turn will come, sweetheart, when you're ready. I believed her. 3 years later, May 2021, I graduated from SUNY New Paltz, environmental science degree, 3.7 GPA. I'd worked campus jobs for 4 years to keep my loans under $30,000. I thought I'd done well. We went to Applebee's. My choice, cheaper. The lunch bill was $86. No announcement, no speech. My father looked at the menu the whole time like he was studying for an exam. My mother asked about my summer plans. I said I was figuring it out. Garrett didn't come. He texted the family group chat. Congrats, sis, busy day at work, crush it. 3 sentences, 12 words, 1 exclamation point. My best friend Natalie came instead. She gave me earrings she'd saved 2 months to buy. $40. Sterling silver with tiny lavender flowers. She knew I loved lavender. She was 29 then, graphic designer, made about $45,000 a year. Those earrings were a sacrifice. After lunch, I waited. I thought maybe my father would say something in the car, or my mother would pull me aside. Nothing. Days later, my father called. Come to the house. We need to discuss your situation. My situation, not my future, not my gift. My situation, May 26, 2021, 3 p.m. I drove to my parents' house in Westchester, 45 minutes from campus. I sat in their living room, the same room where they'd toasted Garrett's apartment. My father handed me a manila folder. We're giving you property, he said. I opened it. Property deed, 12 acres. Hudson Valley, a house built in 1978, last renovated 1991. It's the old place, my mother said. The one Douglas inherited from his uncle. We've been paying property tax on it for years. I looked at the appraisal document inside, dated 2020, property value $198,000. There was a sticky note in my father's handwriting. Barely worth the land. House might need to be torn down. You're giving me a house? I said. My father leaned back in his chair. Take the old place. At least you can't ruin anything important. Property tax is $4,200 a year. That's on you. I stared at him. $4,200 a year. I had $4,392 in my bank account. 1 year of property tax would wipe me out. Did you give Garrett a furniture budget? I asked. My mother blinked. Garrett needed to establish himself professionally. How much did you give him for furniture? $15,000, my father said. But that was different. How? Garrett's apartment was an investment. This land it's something to start with. I looked down at the folder. $198,000 property value. Garrett got $862,000. The gap was $664,000. $664,000. That's how much less I was worth to them. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I closed the folder. Okay, I said. My father looked surprised, like he expected me to fight. You'll take it? My mother asked. Yes, she smiled, relieved. You'll love it, honey. It's quiet, peaceful, good for someone who likes plants. Someone who likes plants. Like I was a hobbyist. Not someone with a degree in environmental science. Not someone who'd written a thesis on sustainable agriculture. I left at 4:15 p.m. Drove back to my apartment. Sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes. Then I called Natalie. They gave me a house, I said. That's amazing. It's worth 1/5 of what they gave Garrett. Silence. Oh, she said. Yeah. Are you going to take it? I already said yes. Why? Because I'm going to make it worth more than his apartment. I don't know how yet, but I will. June 12th, 2021, 4:47 p.m. Into the driveway of 47 Meadowbrook Road, Hudson Valley, New York. 118 miles from the city. 2 hours and 12 minutes of driving. The house was gray, paint peeling. The front porch step was cracked down the middle. There were 12 acres of land stretching behind it. Overgrown, wild, dead in some places. I unlocked the front door. The air inside smelled like dust and mice. I spent the first hour just walking through. 5 rooms, kitchen, living room, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. The toilet worked, the sink worked, the water heater didn't. I called a repair company. Water heater replacement? The woman said. That's $1,850. Earliest appointment is July 9th. I hung up, checked my bank account. $4,392. After buying groceries on the way here, $4,180. I couldn't afford the water heater. Not yet. That night, the temperature dropped to 38 degrees. June in upstate New York. Cold at night. I had 1 blanket. No heat. I boiled water on the stove. 4 inches in the bathtub. Lukewarm. I sat in it and tried not to think about Garrett's heated bathroom with the marble countertop. I got out, dried off, put on 2 layers of clothes. I couldn't sleep. I sat at the kitchen table and went through the folder my father gave me again. The 2020 appraisal was brutal. Land value, $16,500 per acre. House value, $0. The appraiser's note said, structure adds no value, potential tear down. My father's sticky note was still there. Barely worth the land. I peeled it off, folded it, put it in my wallet. I was going to keep that note, and one day I was going to show him he was wrong. The first week, I didn't tell anyone where I was. Garrett didn't ask. My parents didn't call. I spent my days walking the 12 acres, measuring, observing. The soil was dry, cracked in some places, rocky in others, but there was one patch, about 200 square feet, where wildflowers had grown. I marked it with a stick, measured the steps from the house to the back fence line, 127 paces. My neighbor stopped by. Mrs. Chen, 74 years old, lived 0.6 miles down the road. "You're Douglas Fry's daughter?" she asked. "Yes." She looked at the house, at the land, back at me. "Brave girl," she said. "No one's made that land work in 40 years. She drove away. I stood there. 40 years. No one's made it work. I walked back to the wildflower patch, knelt down, touched the soil. "This is where I start," I said out loud. "Right here." August 3rd, 2021. I'd been living on the property for 7 weeks. I'd planted a small vegetable garden using seeds from the hardware store. Tomatoes, lettuce, zucchini. I sold them at the Cold Spring Farmers Market on Saturdays. The market vendor fee was $25. I made $43 that first day. Net profit, $18. 4 hours of standing in the sun for $18. But it was something. A woman stopped at my table, late 40s, graying hair pulled back in a bun. She picked up a tomato, examined it. "You grew these yourself?" she asked. "Yes." "Where?" "Hudson Valley. I have 12 acres. She set the tomato down, looked at me. 12 acres? What are you doing with the rest of it?" "Most of it's still unusable. I'm working on it." She reached into her bag, pulled out a business card. "Dr. Amelia Brennan, Sustainability Consultant, Cornell Cooperative Extension." I took the card. "May I see your land?" she asked. "Why?" "Because 12 acres is a lot of potential, and you're selling tomatoes for $3 each. That tells me you don't know what you're sitting on yet." I looked at her, at the card, back at her. "Okay," I said. "Thursday, 2 p.m. Don't clean up the land. I need to see it as it is." She walked away. I sold 4 more tomatoes that day, drove home with $61 in cash, minus the $25 vendor fee, $36 net. I put Dr. Brennan's card on my fridge, August 5th, 2021, 2 p.m. Dr. Brennan pulled into my driveway in a Subaru Outback. She got out, nodded at me. "Show me," she said. I walked her through the property. She didn't say much, just knelt down every 50 feet or so. Took soil samples, 6 total, labeled them. "What are you looking for?" I asked. "pH drainage, composition." "For what?" She stood up, brushed dirt off her knees. "You're sitting on gold if you pick the right crop," she said. "This soil, this drainage, this slope, it's wasted on vegetables." "What should I grow?" "Lavender." I blinked. "Lavender?" "High-value crop. Low maintenance once established. Thrives in poor soil. Loves this kind of drainage." She looked at the slope of the land. "You've got a 3 to 5% grade, perfect. And I'm guessing you get 8+ hours of sun daily?" "At least," she nodded. "I'll text you the soil results in 2 days. But I'm 90% sure this land is ideal." "For lavender." "For lavender." She handed me a printout. "With the right investment, you're looking at $40 to $60 per square foot in revenue annually. That's $20,000 or more per acre if you do it right." I stared at the paper. $20,000 per acre. I had 12 acres. "Are you interested in doing it right?" she asked. "I don't have money for investment." "How much do you have?" I hesitated. 4,000, maybe." She didn't flinch. "Start small. 200 plants, test plot, see if you can handle the work, then scale." "How much for 200 plants?" "About $900. Plus you'll need a drip irrigation system. Basic one will run you $3,000. My stomach dropped. "I don't have $3,900. "Then find it. Borrow it. Work for it. Because if you don't invest now, you'll be selling tomatoes for $3 each for the rest of your life." She got back in her car, rolled down the window. "Call me when you're ready to think bigger than just surviving," she said. She drove away. I sat on the porch for an hour, doing math. 200 plants, $890. Irrigation system, $3,200. Total, $4,090. I had $4,180 in my account. If I spent it all, I'd have $90 left. No cushion, no backup. I called Natalie. I need to borrow money, I said. How much? $3,200. Silence. Natalie? That's a lot, see? I know. I'll pay you back. With interest, I told her. The lavender, the plan, Dr. Brennan's projections. Okay, she said. Okay? I believe in you. I'll transfer it tomorrow. Don't pay me back until you're profitable. And you will be. I cried after we hung up. First time I'd cried in 2 months. The next day, the money hit my account. I ordered 200 lavender plants from Lavender Hill Farm in Oregon. Paid for the drip irrigation system. Bank account after. $102. August 10th, 2021. I was all in. September 2021. The lavender plants arrived. 200 of them in small pots. I spent 3 days planting them in a test plot. 0.3 acres. Rows spaced 3 feet apart. The first frost came October 28th. I woke up at 5 a.m. and ran outside. Checked every plant. 197 survived. That's 98.5%. I texted Dr. Brennan. 197 of 200. Is that good? She replied in 4 minutes. That's excellent. You have a gift for this. A gift. No one had ever said I had a gift for anything. The family didn't call. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 20 months, 0 visits, 2 phone calls from my mother, both under 90 seconds. November 22nd, 2021. Are you managing okay? March 8th, 2022. Just checking in, you good? Both times I said, fine. Both times she said, okay, good, and hung up. Garrett didn't text, didn't call. His Instagram showed him at rooftop bars in Manhattan. Dinner parties, networking events. His bio said, investment banking to crypto trading, building wealth, not working for it. My father sent one email, December 15th, 2021. Subject line, property tax reminder. Body. Tax bill due January 10th, $4,200. Hope you're managing. Dad. No. How are you? No, Merry Christmas. Just a reminder that I owed money. I paid the tax on January 9th, 2022. Wiped out my savings from 3 months of data entry work at $18 an hour. Thanksgiving 2021. My mother called. We're having dinner at the house, 4 p.m. Can you come? I drove down. 2.5 hours. Garrett was there with his new girlfriend. Madison, 26, worked in PR. She wore a Tory Burch dress and talked about her Soho spin class. Dinner started at 4:30 p.m. My father asked Garrett about work. Garrett talked for 40 minutes. About leaving Goldman Sachs, about trading full-time, about crypto opportunities, about building a portfolio. My father nodded, asked questions, engaged. At 5:47 p.m., my father turned to me. House. Fine. Good. That was it. 1 question. 4 words. 5 seconds. We ate pie. I left at 7:15 p.m. On the drive back, I cried so hard I had to pull over. Winter 2021 into 2022. I worked part-time remotely. Data entry for an insurance company. $18 an hour. 25 hours a week. I saved every dollar. By March 2022, I had enough to buy 1,200 more lavender plants. The supplier offered a payment plan. $4 per plant, 30% down. Rest at delivery. Total $4,800. Down payment $1,440. I expanded to 2.1 acres. My Instagram account had 127 followers, mostly bots. I posted photos of the plants, the progress, the rows. No one liked them, no one commented. March 18th, 2022. Garrett called. First time in 10 months. Hey, random question, he said. Do you still have that land? Yes. I have a buddy who might want to buy cheap land upstate. You interested? I'm using it. For what? A farm. He laughed. A farm? Like, actually? Yes. Okay. Well, if you change your mind, let me know. Could probably get you like 250 for it. 250,000, 52,000 more than what my father said it was worth. But still half of what Garrett's apartment cost. I'm not selling, I said. Suit yourself. He hung up. July 2022. First real harvest. The original 197 plants yielded 89 pounds of dried lavender. I sold it at farmers markets. $22 per pound. Total revenue, $1,820. Costs, water, supplies, gas to markets, $2,340. Net, negative $520. I lost money, but I had orders. 12 people requested bulk orders for 2023. Wedding planners, small boutiques, one essential oil company. I wrote their names in a notebook. 12 names. 12 reasons to keep going. I texted Natalie. First harvest, 89 pounds. I cried when I weighed it. She replied, You're doing it. You're actually doing it. Mother's Day, 2022. I posted a photo on Instagram. Lavender buds just starting to bloom. Purple haze across the field. Caption, Year 1, still growing. My mother viewed the story at 11:52 p.m. She didn't like it, didn't comment, didn't message. I stared at the seen by list. Her name right there, Vivian Fry. She saw it. She just didn't care. Fall 2022. I reinvested everything, bought 2,700 more plants, took out $8,500 in credit card debt at 22.9% APR. Total lavender area, 7.2 acres, 60% of the property. I worked 73 hours a week, data entry, farm work, market Saturdays. By April 2023, I had my first profitable month. Revenue, $5,830. Costs, $3,180. Net, $2,650. Bank account balance, $6,892. First time over $5,000 since I moved in. I sat at the kitchen table and looked at the number on my phone screen. $6,892. I'd done it. 1 month of profit. Proof it could work. Instagram followers, 1,834. Still mostly bots. But some real people now. People who liked lavender. People who believed in small farms. May 15th, 2023. Dr. Brennan visited. First time in 18 months. She walked the fields, didn't say anything for 10 minutes, just walked, looked, touched the plants. Finally, You're ready. For what? I'm going to introduce you to some people. Don't say no before you hear them out. People. She smiled. People who see what I see, June 18th, 2024, 6:38 p.m. I was watering the far section of the field. The sun was setting, golden hour. The light hit the lavender in a way I'd never seen before. I pulled out my phone, shot a video, 47 seconds, no filter, just purple waves and gold light. I posted it to Instagram. Caption: 3 years ago this was dead land. Today it's 7 acres of lavender. Sometimes you have to plant your own miracle. I put my phone in my pocket, went back to watering. By 8:15 p.m., the video had 12,000 views. I refreshed. By 10:47 p.m., 340,000 views. I couldn't sleep. I kept checking. Every hour. June 19th, 7 a.m. 2.1 million views. June 20th, 11 p.m. 8.3 million views. 8.3 million people had seen my field. My inbox exploded. 834 DM requests. I scrolled through them. Most were spam. Some were sweet. This is beautiful. Where is this? Can I visit? Some were business inquiries. Hudson Valley magazine. We'd love to feature you. Can we talk? 3 wedding planners. Is your farm available for events? An essential oil company. Interested in wholesale partnership? And one message that changed everything. June 25th, 2024. 10:14 a.m. We invest in sustainable agriculture businesses. Your story caught our attention. Are you open to a conversation? Timothy Schaefer, VP Acquisitions, Verdant Ventures, LLC. I stared at it. Verdant Ventures. I Googled them. Venture capital firm. 14 sustainable agriculture businesses in their portfolio. Farms, apiaries, organic dairies, legitimate. I didn't reply. Not yet. New followers, 127,000 in 1 week. June 18th, 8,340 followers. 25th, 135,200 followers. Product orders flooded in. Soaps, sachets, essential oils. Revenue that month, $18,950. Previous month, $4,200. I was making more in 1 month than I used to make in 4. 8 wedding venue deposits, $2,500 each, $20,000 revenue secured for 2025. I called Natalie. I think it's happening, I said. What's happening? I don't know yet, but something big. June 21st, 2024. 7:12 a.m. Garrett called. I didn't answer. Voicemail. Hey Sienna, saw your thing on Instagram. Pretty cool. We should catch up sometime. Call me back. I deleted it. He hadn't called me in 2 years. Hadn't texted. Hadn't asked how I was. Now my video had 8 million views, and suddenly he wanted to catch up. I blocked his number. June 27th, 2024. I called Dr. Brennan. Someone from Verdant Ventures reached out, I said. Timothy Schaefer? You know him? I know of him. He's legitimate. But get a lawyer before you talk to him. A lawyer? Sienna, if they're reaching out, you've built something they want. Don't sell yourself short. You're not just a girl with a garden anymore. Give me a name. Amanda Cortez. Agricultural business attorney. $350 an hour. I booked a consultation. June 28th. 1 p.m. 90 minutes. $525. June 28th. Amanda's office in Poughkeepsie. She was 42, sharp suit, sharper questions. What do you want from this conversation? She asked. Money, control, or both? I don't know yet. Then figure it out before you meet with them, because they'll ask, and they'll offer whichever one you don't ask for. She reviewed Verdant's email. They don't reach out unless they see 7 figures, she said. 7 figures? Your farm, your brand, your Instagram, combined, that's worth at least $1 million, maybe more. I sat back. $1 million. 3 years ago, my father said this land was barely worth $198,000. Do I have to sell? I asked. No, but if you do, negotiate for more than money. Negotiate for control. Make them need you. July 2nd, 2024. My father's birthday. 62 years old. My mother called. We're having dinner. Can you come? I hadn't been to their house in 8 months. Okay, I said. I drove down. Arrived at 4:30 p.m. Garrett's car wasn't in the driveway yet. I went inside. My mother was in the kitchen. She hugged me. You look good, she said. Thanks. How's the farm? Good. I saw your video, 8 million views. That's incredible. I waited for more, for her to ask about the business, about the growth, about anything real. Do you need help setting the table? She asked. That was it. 4:52 p.m. I was in the hallway. My mother was on the phone in the kitchen. She didn't know I was there. I don't care what you have to do, find a way. He's your son too, Douglas. Pause. The apartment is already mortgaged. What else is there? Pause. How much? Pause. Jesus Christ. How does someone lose $890,000? I froze. $890,000. Private lenders? Douglas, those people? Pause. 18% monthly? Are you kidding me? Pause. August 15th. That's 6 weeks. Where are we supposed to get that kind of money? I stepped into the kitchen. My mother turned, saw me. Her face went pale. I'll call you back, she said. Hung up. Honey, I didn't hear you come in. How long have I been here? I asked. Long enough. Dinner, 6:30 p.m. Garrett arrived 45 minutes late. He looked exhausted, thinner than I remembered, shadows under his eyes. My father asked about work. I'm between opportunities, Garrett said. Translation, unemployed. What about the trading? My father asked. The market's been tough. Which market? I asked. Stocks or crypto? Garrett looked at me. First time he'd made eye contact all night. I diversified. Into what? Let's not talk business at dinner, my mother said quickly. We ate in silence. After dinner, I helped clear plates. My parents went into the study, door half closed. I heard my mother's voice. We can't let him lose everything, Douglas. That farm is worth something now. She'll understand. She has to. My father. Vivian. She's doing well. She doesn't need it like he does. I set the plates down, walked out the front door, got in my car, drove home. 2.5 hours of thinking. July 3rd, 2024. I couldn't stop thinking about what I'd heard. $890,000 lost. Garrett, crypto. I Googled Luna crypto collapse. May 2022. Terra/Luna, a stablecoin that crashed overnight. People lost billions. May 2022. It was the same month I was harvesting my first 89 pounds of lavender. While I was bleeding money into soil, he was bleeding it into algorithms. The difference? Mine grew back. July 3rd, 11:38 p.m. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Tell your brother time's up. August 15th, no extensions. Wrong number. Meant for my mother, but now I knew. Lenders, private lenders, the kind that don't go through banks. August 15th, 6 weeks. They were going to ask for my farm. I knew it. I could feel it. I had a choice. Wait for them to ask. Or take control first. July 4th, 2024, 3:47 p.m. I emailed Timothy Schaefer. I'm ready to talk. When can we meet? Sienna. He replied at 8:12 p.m. On a holiday. How's June 30th, 2 p.m.? I can meet you in Cold Spring. Bring your lawyer if you have one. Called Amanda Cortez. Booked her. 2 hours. $525. Then I texted Natalie. Remember when you said I'd pay you back double? I might actually be able to do that. Soon. June 30, 2024. 2 p.m. Cup and Saucer Cafe. Cold Spring, New York. I'd moved the meeting up. Originally scheduled for July 4th. But after overhearing my mother on July 2nd, I knew I needed to move fast. Timothy Schaefer was 51. Gray hair, sharp suit, confident handshake. With him, a corporate lawyer, briefcase, recorder for notes. Amanda sat next to me. We ordered coffee, 3 rounds over the next 2 hours. We've been following your growth, Timothy said. 8.3 million views doesn't happen by accident. You've built a brand, not just a farm. We want to scale it. What does that mean? I asked. We buy the property. We buy the business. We buy the IP, your Instagram, your branding, your customer list. We invest in infrastructure. Hire a team. Turn this into a regional destination. And I do what? Whatever you want. Walk away with the money, or stay on and help us grow it. He slid a paper across the table. 2.4 million for everything. I looked at the number. $2.4 million. 12 times what my father said this land was worth. Amanda leaned over, whispered, "Don't answer yet. Step outside with me." Parking lot. Amanda lit a cigarette. "They're lowballing," she said. 2.4 million is lowballing? The land alone is worth 1.8 now. The business is worth another 1.5 minimum. They're hoping you don't know that. What should I ask for? 3.2, and demand a management role. You're the brand. They need you. What if they say no? Then they say no, but they won't. We went back inside. I sat down, looked at Timothy. "I appreciate the offer," I said. "But I've built this brand personally. Customers trust me, not a corporation. I'll sell for 2.85 million, with one condition." Timothy raised an eyebrow. "Stay on as managing director. 2 years. Salary of $185,000 per year, plus 3% profit share, non-negotiable." He looked at his lawyer, looked back at me. "That's actually very reasonable," he said. "We'd want you to stay on anyway. Brand continuity is critical." He extended his hand. "Give us 48 hours to draft the contract." I second, 4:14 p.m. Amanda called. "They accepted every term. They're sending the contract tomorrow." I sat down. "Sienna," she said, "you just became a millionaire." July 8th, 2024. 10 a.m., Amanda's office. The contract was 47 pages. I read every word. Took 3 hours. Purchase price, $2.85 million. My role, Managing Director, Hudson Valley Lavender Farm, Verdant Ventures LLC. Contract length, 24 months. July 2024 to July 2026. Salary, $185,000 per year. Profit share, 3% of net annual profits. NDA, 30 days or until closing, whichever came first. I signed at 1:22 p.m. "When's closing?" I asked. "They proposed July 25th, but you can request a different date if you want." I thought about it. My mother's 72-hour ultimatum. If she was going to ask, it would be soon. "Can we do July 14th?" I asked. "At noon?" "Why that specific?" "I have my reasons." Amanda looked at me, then smiled. "I'll make it happen." July 8th, 2:47 p.m. I texted Natalie. "I signed something today. I can't tell you what, but you should block off July 14th, noon, trust me." She replied, "You're scaring me." "Good scary, I promise." July 11th, 2024, 10:23 a.m. I was watering the lavender, east section, rows 12 through 18. I heard a car. I looked up. My mother's Honda Accord, alone. She didn't call ahead. I turned off the hose. She got out of the car. Beige linen pants, blue blouse, sunglasses. "Sienna, we need to talk. Now." "You could have called," I said. "This isn't a phone conversation." We sat on the porch. She didn't ask how I was, didn't comment on the fields, didn't say the lavender looked beautiful. She got straight to it. "Your brother is in trouble. Serious trouble. He needs money. A lot of it." "How much?" I asked. "At least 800,000. The apartment is already mortgaged. Your father and I have maybe 200,000 in savings. We're short." I looked at her. "And you think my farm is the difference?" "You have 72 hours to give this place back," she said. "Your brother will take over." Silence. I let it sit there. "You have 72 hours, she repeated. "That's until July 14th, noon. Then what?" "Then your brother takes possession. He'll sell it, use the money to settle his debts." "What do I get?" "We're not trying to take from you, Sienna. We'll give you 50,000 to start over somewhere else. That's more than fair." 50,000 for a farm worth $2.85 million. "You're young," she continued. "You're 30. You can build another garden. Garrett is 35. He can't start from zero. You understand that, right? I built this from zero, I said. You had the land. Garrett had an $847,000 apartment. Her face tightened. This is different. How? Brett made one mistake. You want your brother to suffer forever? I stood up. I need to think about it. There's nothing to think about. July 14th, noon. Your father will come with Garrett to take over. Pack what you need. She stood, walked to her car. Before she got in, she turned. This is family, Sienna. You do this for family. She drove away. I sat on the porch for 11 minutes, didn't move, just sat. At 11:47 a.m., I called Amanda. Can we move the closing ceremony up? I asked. It already is July 14th. No. I mean, can we add witnesses, press, make it public? Silence. What happened? Amanda asked. My family just tried to take it back. I want them to see they can't. How many people do you want there? As many as possible. I'll contact Verdant. They'll love the publicity. Sienna, you okay? I will be. On July 14th, at noon. July 12th, 2024, 9:14 a.m. My phone buzzed. Email from my mother. Subject: FWD, I'm serious, Mom. I opened it. She'd accidentally forwarded an email. From garrett.fry.85@gmail.com to viviannefry62@yahoo.com. Sent July 9th, 2024, 11:38 p.m. 2 days before she showed up at my door. Mom, I need at least $800,000 or they'll take everything. The apartment, the car, everything. I've been stalling them for weeks, but August 15th is hard deadline. Can you sell her farm? She's just playing with dirt anyway. You said it went viral. That means it's worth something now, right? Maybe $600,000 to $700,000? She's 30. She can get a real job. I can't start over at 35 with nothing. Dad agrees with me. He's just too scared to say it. Please, Mom. I'm drowning here. I made a mistake with Luna, but I can't let one mistake destroy my whole life. G. I read it 4 times, playing with dirt. That's what 3 years of 14-hour days looked like to him. A real job. That's what a business generating $18,950 a month looked like to him. Dad agrees with me. My father thought I should give up my farm to save Garrett from his own mistakes. I took a screenshot, saved it to my photos, to my laptop, to Google Drive. Then I forwarded it to Amanda. Subject: FYI. Context for Sunday's ceremony. Later, my mother texted. Please disregard previous email, accident. We'll talk Sunday. I didn't reply. I texted Natalie. I need you to do me a favor. Sunday at the ceremony, if my family shows up, don't let me feel sorry for them. She replied immediately. What happened? I sent her the screenshot. She called. Sienna. I know. Playing with dirt? I know. You're not giving them anything, right? No. But I need you there to remind me why. I'll be there. July 12th afternoon. I sat at my kitchen table, opened my laptop, created a spreadsheet, guest list. I started typing, Dr. Amelia Brennan, Natalie Crane, Hudson Valley Magazine, Poughkeepsie Journal, Janet Kowalski, County Supervisor, Amanda Cortez, Timothy Schaefer and Verdant Team, 12 business partners, 8 local business owners, 3 neighbors, 10 Instagram followers who'd become friends. By the time I was done, 43 names. I drafted an email. You're invited to the transfer ceremony of Hudson Valley Lavender Farm, July 14th, 12 p.m. Light refreshments served. Your support has meant everything. I hit send. By 8 p.m., 38 confirmed. July 13th, 2024. I rented a tent, 8 feet by 4 feet. 60 seats, $1,850. Ordered catering, 50 people, $23 per head, $1,150. Champagne, 6 bottles, $180. A sign, professional vinyl print, 8 feet by 4 feet. Under new ownership, Verdant Ventures LLC, $340. Total event cost, $3,520. I paid from the farm account. The sign arrived at 3:47 p.m. I unwrapped it on the lawn, stared at it, 8 feet wide. Impossible to miss. I took a photo, sent it to Natalie. "This is what they're going to see," she replied. "I'm so proud of you." 6 p.m. I drove to the J. Crew outlet, 45 minutes away. Bought a navy suit, first suit I'd ever owned, $340. On sale from $580. Black pumps, $89. I hadn't worn heels in 4 years. Not since graduation. Total, $429. I drove home, hung the suit on the door, practiced my speech in the mirror. Thank you all for coming. 3 years ago, I received a piece of land most people thought was worthless. I did it 6 times before I got it right. July 13th, 11:47 p.m. I couldn't sleep. I walked out to the lavender fields. The moon was waxing gibbous, 82% full. I stood in the middle of row 7, touched the plants. Tomorrow. Tomorrow they'd find out what I was actually worth. Not what my father thought. Not what Garrett thought. What I'd built. I whispered to myself, tomorrow they find out what I'm actually worth. I went back inside, checked my phone, text from Dr. Brennan, sent at 12:03 a.m. "Thank you for believing in dirt," I replied. "I believed in you. The dirt was just lucky. See you at noon." She sent back a single word. Proud, 14th, 2024, 8:30 a.m. The caterers arrived. The tent was already up, set up the day before. 60 white folding chairs, arranged in rows. Table at the front, for signing documents. Champagne table by the entrance. 6 bottles on ice. 75 glasses. The sign facing the gate. Under new ownership, Verdant Ventures LLC. 8 feet wide. 4 feet tall. Impossible to miss. 10:47 a.m. First guests arrived. Dr. Brennan, 2 colleagues from Cornell Extension. She hugged me. "You ready for this?" she asked. "I've been ready for 3 years." 11:52 a.m. I was inside the tent, checking the seating chart with Amanda. Natalie ran in. "He's here." My stomach dropped. "Garrett?" "Yeah, silver pickup, just pulled in." I walked to the tent opening, looked out. Silver Dodge Ram, 2019 model. Garrett behind the wheel. He had 2 empty cardboard boxes in the truck bed, 1 duffel bag on the passenger seat. He was planning to pack up my stuff, planning to stay. He rounded the bend, saw the tent, saw the cars, 40-plus vehicles, saw people in business attire, saw the sign. His truck lurched. He hit the brake hard, parked 15 feet from the gate. He sat there, staring. 2 minutes, 18 seconds. I watched from inside the tent. 12 guests noticed him, started whispering. Natalie texted me. "Your brother just pulled up. He looks like he saw a ghost." Garrett got out, slammed the truck door, walked toward the gate. His face was red, fists clenched. He didn't see me yet. He saw Timothy Schaefer, 51, in a suit, talking to Janet Kowalski, the county supervisor. Garrett stopped. "What the hell is this? Where's my sister?" 11:55 a.m. Another car. My mother's Honda Accord, Douglas in the passenger seat. They saw Garrett's truck, saw the tent, saw the sign. My mother's face went pale. I could see her through the windshield. Douglas said something. I couldn't hear it, but I saw his lips move. My mother didn't get out. She gripped the steering wheel. Douglas stared straight ahead, 11:58 a.m. I stepped out of the tent, navy suit, hair pulled back, clipboard in hand. I saw all three of them. Garrett, Vivian, Douglas. I looked at my father first. He looked away. Garrett walked toward me. "What is this? Mom said you were giving this back. What the hell is going on?" I didn't move. "The ceremony starts in 2 minutes. You're welcome to stay and watch." "Ceremony? What ceremony?" "Sienna, we need to talk. Now." "We will. Afternoon. Right now, I have guests." "Guests? For what?" Timothy Schaefer stepped forward, extended his hand. "You must be the brother. Sienna's told us a lot about you. Congratulations on having such a brilliant sister." Garrett stared at Timothy's hand, didn't shake it. 12 p.m. Noon, exactly. Amanda Cortez stepped to the microphone. "Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this special occasion." I looked at Garrett. He was frozen, 15 feet away. My mother got out of the car, walked over, stood next to him. My father followed. Slower. He looked older than I remembered. "We're here today," Amanda continued, "to celebrate an incredible achievement." Amanda spoke for 4 minutes. 30 seconds. 3 years ago, Sienna Fry received 12 acres of what many considered unusable land. Today, that land is valued at $2.85 million, and the business she built is thriving. Gasps from the crowd. I glanced at my mother. Her mouth was open. "This is a story," Amanda said, "of vision, of persistence, and of refusing to accept other people's limitations." Applause. I looked at my father. He was staring at the ground. Amanda introduced Janet Kowalski, County Supervisor, 52, Democrat, up for re-election. Janet took the microphone. "I've represented this district for 8 years, and I can tell you, Sienna's farm is exactly the kind of sustainable business we need." She talked for 3 minutes, 12 seconds. "When I first visited in May, Sienna had 4,100 lavender plants and a dream. Today, she has a $2.85 million business and a blueprint other farmers are studying." More applause. "She's created jobs, attracted tourism, proved that with the right approach, our agricultural heritage has a future." Janet looked at me. "That's the American story we need to tell more often." 38 seconds of applause. During the applause, a journalist raised a camera. Flash. I glanced at Garrett. He was 40 feet away, standing next to our parents, not clapping. My mother had tears streaming down her face, not happy tears. My father's jaw was tight. Garrett looked like he might crack a tooth. Timothy Schaefer stepped up. "Verdant Ventures invests in sustainable agriculture businesses with significant growth potential. Sienna's farm exceeded every metric we look for." He spoke for 5 minutes, 40 seconds. "Our offer was $2.85 million for the property and business. But Sienna negotiated something most sellers don't think to ask for." He paused. "She demanded to stay." Murmurs. "For the next 2 years, she'll serve as managing director. Salary of $185,000 annually, plus 3% profit share." He looked at me. "She's not selling out, she's scaling up." The crowd erupted. A reporter stood. Grace Chen, Hudson Valley magazine. "Ms. Fry, can you tell us what you plan to do with the proceeds from the sale?" I stepped to the microphone. 41 faces looking at me, including my family's. "Pay back the people who believed in me when no one else did," I said, "and invest in the next woman who gets handed worthless land." Applause. Cameras flashed. Dr. Brennan stood. "May I say something?" Amanda nodded. Dr. Brennan walked to the front. "I met Sienna at a farmer's market 3 years ago. She'd made $43 that day and was thrilled." Soft laughter. "I tested her soil. Told her she had potential. She didn't just meet that potential, she exceeded it." Her voice cracked. "I've watched her work 14-hour days in 90-degree heat. Troubleshoot irrigation systems at midnight. Turn dirt into gold." She looked at me. Not because she had resources, because she refused to quit. That's not luck, that's character. She sat down. I blinked rapidly, tried not to cry. Natalie in row 3 was already crying. Applause. 52 seconds. During it, Garrett turned, walked toward his truck. My mother grabbed his arm. He shook her off, kept walking. But he stopped, turned around, came back, stood there, arms crossed, face dark. Amanda brought out the documents. 12 pages. Tricia Moss, the notary public, sat at the table. 61 years old. Official New York State seal. Sign here, here, and initial here, she said. Timothy signed first. 12:24 p.m., then me. 12:27 p.m. I used my own pen. $12 rollerball. Had it since college. As of 12:27 p.m., July 14, 2024, Patricia said, "This property is officially transferred." She stamped the seal. It was done. Champagne poured. Timothy raised his glass. To Sienna Fry, managing director, entrepreneur, and proof that the best revenge is success. The crowd toasted. I looked toward where my family had been standing. Only my father was still there. Vivian and Garrett were gone. Cameras, photos. I stood in front of the sign with Timothy, Dr. Brennan, Amanda, Natalie. 47 photos across 2 photographers. Grace Chen, the reporter, asked one more question. Sienna, how does it feel to turn a $198,000 property into nearly $3 million in just 3 years? I looked straight at the camera. It feels like proof that I was never the problem. 1:15 p.m. Guests started leaving. 15 people still mingling. My father approached. First words he'd said to me in person in 8 months. Can we talk? Just for a minute? 1:47 p.m. Inside the house, living room, the same room where my father handed me the deed 3 years ago. Sienna, Garrett, Vivian, Douglas. Garrett had come back, truck still in the driveway. He'd been sitting in it for 40 minutes. Say whatever you came to say, I said, but make it quick. I have guests to attend to. Garrett exploded. You knew we needed this and you sold it anyway. I looked at him. I knew you wanted it. I didn't know you needed it until Mom showed up 3 days ago. By then, I'd already signed the contract. 2 weeks before her visit. Silence. 2 weeks, he said. You signed 2 weeks ago? So when Mom came, I already didn't own it. I just couldn't tell her because of the NDA. Garrett paced, 14 laps across the 12-foot room. You could have waited. You could have sold it and split the money with me. I'm your brother. You're right, you are. And when you graduated, Dad gave you an $847,000 apartment. When I graduated, he gave me dirt. Did you offer to split that with me? That was different. How? I needed it for my career. And I needed basic respect. Vivian interrupted. Sienna, please, your brother made a mistake. One mistake. You want him to suffer forever? Stood up. He didn't make one mistake, Mom. He made a series of choices. He quit a $230,000 job to gamble on crypto. He lost $890,000. He mortgaged his apartment. He borrowed from private lenders at 18% monthly interest. Those weren't mistakes. Those were decisions. He's your brother. I built this in spite of you, not because of you. Vivian's voice rose. That's not fair. We gave you the land. You gave me the land Dad said was worthless. You gave Garrett the apartment he called an investment. You gave me a burden and him a gift. Those aren't the same thing. No, you'd succeed? That's exactly my point. My father stood. He'd been silent for 11 minutes. Vivian, stop. She's right. Garrett turned. Dad? No, let me finish. Douglas looked at me. I gave you that land because I thought it couldn't hurt you. I was wrong. It could have ruined you. But you... His voice cracked. You made it matter. He sat back down. I didn't think you had it in you. I thought Garrett was the one who'd make something of himself. I was wrong about both of you. His hands were shaking. I noticed it for the first time. A tremor. I enabled you, Garrett. Every bad decision, I bailed you out. And Sienna, I underestimated you. Both were failures on my part. I felt something break inside my chest. 3 years. 3 years I'd been waiting to hear those words. You could have told me that 3 years ago, I said. My voice cracked. Before I spent 1,000 nights wondering if you were right about me. I walked to the door. I'm not giving you money to fix Garrett's mistakes. I'm not giving you access to my business. But I'm also not cutting you out of my life. Not yet. I looked at all 3 of them. I need time to decide if I can forgive you for trying to take the first thing I ever built. You have my number. Don't use it unless you're ready to apologize for real. Not for needing help. For assuming I owed you my success because Garrett failed. Garrett opened his mouth. I'm done, I said. Please leave. I walked out. Natalie was waiting by the tent. She saw my face, didn't ask questions, just hugged me. Inside, I heard my mother's voice through the window. This is your fault, Douglas. You made her like this. My father's reply. No, I tried to break her like this. She made herself anyway. January 18th, 2025. Farmhouse office, renovated, heat now, Wi-Fi, ergonomic desk, team meeting, 9 employees. I sat at the head of the table. December revenue was $86,300. That's 14% over projection. Production is up 22% from October. We're hitting every target Verdant set for year 1. Applause from the team. Sarah, operations manager. The Whole Foods contract starts February 1st. We're ready. Whole Foods, signed November 12, 2024. $1.2 million annually. Lavender products, soaps, sachets, essential oils, in grocery stores across the Northeast. After the meeting, I checked Instagram. Farm account. 340,000 followers, up from 135,200 in June. Latest post, January 15th. Snow-covered lavender fields, 89,000 likes. Top comment, this is what healing looks like. Updates I'd learned from Dr. Brennan. Garrett declared bankruptcy, October 18th, 2024. Apartment sold November 23rd. Sale price, $680,000. After paying mortgages and liens, $0 to Garrett. He moved back to my parents' house, working at my father's friend's logistics company, operations coordinator. $52,000 a year. He started December 2nd. I hadn't spoken to him since July 14th. I'd blocked his number. But I dreamed about him sometimes. Dreams where I gave him money and he threw it back at me. October 2024. My mother called. First real conversation since July. Your father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Early stage. I thought you should know. The call lasted 8 minutes. 12 seconds. I asked about treatment, prognosis. I didn't visit. Will you come see us? She asked. I'm not ready. When will you be ready? I don't know. I'll let you know when I know. I started therapy. September 5th, 2024. Weekly sessions, $160 each, 18 sessions so far. My therapist asked, what do you want from your family? I don't know. What do you need? Time, December 20th, 2024, 2:14 p.m. A Christmas card arrived, addressed to Sienna Fry, Managing Director. Inside, photo of my parents. No Garrett. Douglas's handwriting, shaky, Parkinson's tremor. We're proud of you. We should have said it years ago. We should have shown it. We didn't. That failure is ours, not yours. We're sorry. Dad. Below, in my mother's handwriting, you don't have to forgive us, but please know we see you now. Mom. 36 words. I didn't respond, but I didn't throw it away. I put it in my desk drawer. December 25th, Christmas Day. I almost called, phone in hand, father's number on the screen, finger hovering over call. I didn't press it, put the phone down. Cried for 11 minutes, first time I'd cried about them since July. January 1st, 2025, 3:47 a.m., New Year's night. Text from an unknown number, Boston area code 617. Garrett, I know you blocked me. I'm not asking you to respond. I just need to say this. I'm sorry, not for needing help, for thinking your success was somehow taking from me, for thinking Dad giving you the bad land meant you'd fail, for thinking I deserved more because I'm older, or because I'm a man, or because I went to a better school. I get it now. Too late, I know, but I get it. You didn't take anything from me. I threw away what I had. That's on me. I hope you're doing well. You deserve to be. G. 118 words. I read it 6 times. January 4th, 2025. 11:20 a.m. I responded. First words to Garrett in 173 days. Thank you. I'm not ready to see you yet. But thank you. January 18th, 2025. 5:47 p.m. After the team meeting, after checking texts, after everything, I walked into the snow-covered lavender fields. 28 degrees, sun setting at 5:52 p.m. 4 inches of snow. The lavender was dormant. 4,100 plants, 97% survival rate. Property value now, $3.1 million. My net worth after taxes, after paying Natalie back double, after investments, $1.87 million. I took a photo. Lavender fields at sunset, covered in snow, posted to Instagram. 6:03 p.m. Caption: Year 1 of new ownership complete, 12 acres, 9 people employed, 8.3 million reasons. I'm grateful you believed in something I built from dirt. Here's to year 2, to everyone who's been handed the thing nobody wanted and told to be grateful. You don't owe them your success, but you owe yourself the chance to try. Hashtag Hudson Valley. Lavender, hashtag year 1. Hashtag built from dirt. Likes in first hour, 47,300. Comments in first hour, 2,834. Top comment from Dr. Brennan. Proud doesn't even begin to cover it. Second comment from Natalie. I knew you'd do it. I always knew. 6:47 p.m. My father commented. First time he'd ever commented on my Instagram. Your mother and I are proud of you. We should have said it sooner. I read it 3 times. Didn't respond. But I didn't delete it either. 7:15 p.m. I went inside. The house was warm. New heating system. Installed August. The team had left at 6 p.m. I was alone. I made tea, lavender chamomile, from my own harvest. Sat in the living room that used to freeze. 68 degrees now. I opened my laptop, checked the Whole Foods contract one more time, $1.2 million annually, starting February 1st. I closed the laptop, looked around the room. This house that was supposed to be worthless. This land that was supposed to break me. I smiled. Not a triumphant smile. A tired one. A real one. The smile of someone who planted something in frozen ground and watched it grow anyway. Outside, snow was still falling. Inside, I was warm. I whispered to myself, they tried to take it back. They didn't understand. You can't take back what was never really theirs to give.